Hey guys, what's up? It's Bib07 here again, and another video so soon. Yes, there's not much progress, but this is more of a discussion video than anything. There's not going to be too much to watch on the screen, really, so you can go ahead and, play RS or whatever while you're watching slash listening to this, but I am quickly going to show off my loot so far at the beginning here. I did get another Black Dragons task, and I preferred it. And when you prefer a task, it also extends it. So I think I got like 72 or something like that in the end. So I've done most of it pretty much here, and I've got some decent QBD loot building up. Some Dragon Bones in the hides, and all of these are the standard loots. The best standard loot from QBD to get is Runite Ore currently. That is worth the most out of all the regular loots you can get, so that's what you hope to see. And I think the worst is probably Snapdragon Seeds. I think that would definitely be the worst. I don't even know where those are in my bank. They're really not worth anything at all for some reason. I think seeds all crashed because of Wishing Well fruits being bugged at some point, but I'm not 100% sure. I've also gotten one of every unique drop from QBD at this point, which is kind of a ridiculous because I have only killed, let's see, Queen Black Dragon 106, and I did a series on QBD a while ago on my channel. It's still up here, called King of the Queen. Spoiler alert though, it took me over 300 kills, 370 something I believe, to get all the items from QBD. Mainly the D-Kite was the elusive one, but I've already gotten them all here. I did get a Visage also, but I sold that off. That was on my previous task. I got that Visage, and I did sell it off because it's worth. The Visage is actually the best unique. Well, it's not unique actually. It's the best drop from QBD you can get in terms of money is the Visage. So that's pretty cool that I actually managed to get one. But I haven't had one in a while now. Hopefully I can get another soon. But yeah, I don't really sell off the royal pieces at the moment. I mean, they're 90k each. I don't know. I do need to use the one on my crossbow, I think, to recharge it, so I just keep them, might as well, and there's no real reason for me to sell them at the moment, and they're not worth a whole lot, so yeah. I just like QBD a lot because of how consistent the money is. Its regular drops are just gonna always be worth at least something and be pretty decent, like logs are always good, Onyx bolt tips for their alk price, magic seeds for farming, herbs, Dragon Bones and Royal D'hide are always going to be great drops in terms of consistent cash, and it's not too hard to kill. Really doesn't take too much, so yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. This is my full QBD setup that I bring. One super anti-fire, a grand defense, and grand ranging potion because I'm too low herblore to have better potions. 6 prayer pots and sharks, and I usually get 2 kills per dose of anti-fire, so I get 8 kills with this inventory, and I could potentially get more if I brought in more anti-fire, but I don't feel it's worth it because usually when I'm out of my anti-fire, I am pretty much out of food and prayer, depending on if the QBD drops me rocktails or super stores or not. But enough rambling about that. So pretty much nothing else to see on the screen from here on out. If you were checking out that loot at all, it has barely been any time since the last episode of or the last vlog. I just finished my Greater Demons task, and then I got this Black Dragons task, and I've basically been working on that. I am also doing harps on my Iron Man while I do Slayer, so that is that up there. So yeah, I just wanted to address some comments from my last video, just really quick here. I don't know, for some reason one of the comments, I see it on my comments list, and I see the video says it has 5 comments, but if you look here, the video says it has 5 comments right there, but I look down and there's only 4 comments. And I saw the video, I got another comment in my notifications, and I saw that I see if there's a little tab on the YouTube Creator Studio or whatever that shows your most recent comments, and it's there, but I cannot see it on here, and I can't reply to it. So for some reason I just felt like making a whole video because I am kind of feeling in the mood for making a vlog right now, so I might as well continue pumping some content out for you guys. even though I'm not really going to be doing anything in the video. Don't really feel like doing QBD on video while I'm trying to talk about stuff. So yeah, either way, Link Gamer RS, I guess I'll just address all the comments because I might as well just mention them all off. Link Gamer RS said, as far as I know, you can't get the crafting pet from harps, which I thought you could at the time, and I also left a comment back to him saying that I thought you could because of, it says on the wiki, the things that can't drop pets, and it doesn't include harps in there, but I did do a little bit more research into it, and you actually, turns out I pretty much positive you can't, because they list the things you can get the pet from actually at some page on RuneScape wiki, like the official one, I think, and that list for crafting doesn't include the harps. It just says like glass blowing, leather working, all the regular crafting methods. So I guess maybe you can't get it from harps, so I haven't really been unlucky on my Iron Man or anything, but that also kind of sucks because I'm not really going to have a lot of hides or anything to get it on my Iron Man, and it does get affected by the key, the XP drop size is what affects production skills like crafting in terms of the pet rarity or pet drop chance. So that kind of sucks. Hopefully I get kind of lucky with it on that account. But the chance does go up the higher your level is, so I guess I will try and wait it out on using my crafting supplies that I do have in the bank until I'm a little higher level to perhaps increase my chances of getting it. But thanks for that comment. I thought you could get it from harps, but it turns out you actually, I don't think you can anymore. So yeah. The Guardian also asked, what do I do for GP? And I did respond back to him, but regardless, I'm going to talk about that here. Basically, what I have done on this account in general for GP, when I first started the account, I had like IBAN staff and stuff. You know, I didn't really need GP at that point too much. I had like 100K maybe from, I don't even know how I got it. You know, you just get your money. You maybe like killing cows and selling hard leather gloves. That's pretty easy method to get 100K at the start. It was like whatever, and then I bought, you know, some really basic stuff and went to Barrows, and I have a video on that. The first video on this account, I got 2 Barrows drops on my first 2 Barrows chests, which got me started in the game with like 5 mil. So that was really a really nice way to start it off. I got really lucky, but if you're really just starting off, I probably wouldn't recommend doing Barrows. It's not really worth it until you get higher level and stuff. But after I did Barrows, I went to continue training my magic, and one of the places I trained a lot at was fungal mages. And fungal mages are in the Polypore dungeon. They don't have very much health, and they're not too bad for magic experience, and they drop a lot of potato cactus, which is worth a decent amount. They drop 8 at a time, and they drop it very commonly, so I definitely would recommend doing those if you're trying to get some starter cash, and that is how I maintained my money for that period of time. And while I was getting my mage up, I was working on farming and stuff like that, getting my agility up and my slayer to get myself branches of Darkmire. And once I completed branches of Darkmire, I think I had like 70 magic, and I went and camped Barrows until I had a big loot tab. I actually have a video on that as well. That's why I mentioned in the comment that you can watch my older vlogs to follow my progress. But I did that, and I got a big loot tab on Barrows, and I sold it all. Got myself 95 prayer with that money. And since then, I've just basically been getting my Slayer up and basically doing low to mid-level bossing in order to get my money. Slayer is actually pretty decent money on the game. They're even like at the lower-ish levels, more than people realize. I think it's definitely decent to do like aberrant specters, grot worms, stuff like that. And I definitely think that doing Zami God Wars and QBD when you get the tasks is really the way to go, especially QBD because it's really good money. On the last QBD task I did, I made about 10 mil, and this time I'm going to be making a little bit more because there's extra more boss kills to do because I got myself the extension and prefer, so It's going to be actually probably around 12, 13, maybe even up to 15 mil on this one task. So definitely would highly recommend doing boss tasks. Also, I've been doing Soul Reaper pretty much ever since I got 60 combat, because it was a really easy way to start out doing your Slayer. You just did Soul Reaper and got like 30 Slayer levels at once, and it was really easy and convenient. So I have been doing that, and I've actually sold one incomplete Hydrix for around 24 mil, which was a really nice bank booster. And that's one of the things that did help me get the gear setup that I have right now. So I would highly recommend doing Soul Reaper. You also obviously have the chance to actually get some drops from the bosses themselves, which is kind of how I ended up getting my Chaos Elemental pet. Although I wasn't on Soul Reaper task when I was killing it, but I never really would have killed it if it didn't get assigned Soul Reaper. So yeah, I actually have Bando's boss right now, so I might head off a Bandos trip when I finish this QBD. But Bandos isn't really that great money until you get a pack yak for the bones. I might buy some magic notepaper actually, because it's actually worth it at that point to use there. But yeah, that is one of the best things about a pack yak, is that yak it back mentality. But unfortunately, I'm not able to utilize it yet. But yeah, that was that comment. As far as the future goes, obviously I'm going to continue playing, doing mid-level to lower-ish level bossing like God Wars and QBD, and then I am hopefully going to be able to go do some God Wars Dungeon 2 very soon. Probably like do some Vindicta once I get 80 attack. Those are supposed to be really good money, and onwards from there, you know, Araxor, Telos, Rots, Virago, etc. The high level bosses are going to be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to attempting duos on Virago and Rots, because they just recently patched it so you can enter as duo, and I've always loved smaller teams like 2 or 3 rather than the large team fights that the high level bosses have tended to be these past few years. So that's basically it. Oh, also Nex. I really love Nex. That's probably my favorite boss in the game. Nex and Virago are my 2 favorite bosses in the game. Mostly Nex, because I just have such good memories of soloing Nex back in the day. I got like a couple Torva plate bodies when they used to be like 300 mil each, and that was like, oh my god, that was like probably one of the most fun times I had with PvM on RS3, was soloing Nex back when the drops were worth a ton, and actually not a lot of people could solo Nex, like not a lot of people knew how, and it was really, really fun back then. And really good money, ridiculously good money. But regardless, that one was kind of a rant. You can just watch back my old videos if you would like to see the exact ways I made my money. But yeah, mostly QBD, Barrows, God Wars Dungeon. That's about it. And make sure you do your Soul Reaper, because you definitely get some good money from that Hydrix. So it's definitely worth it. Yeah, I mean, it's not too hard to make money. Also, divination, actually the energies you get sell for not too bad. So if you stock up a lot of energies over your level ups, once you get to the 10 or the 5, whatever the next area, you can sell off your energies. I mean, that's like 1.4 mil or 1.5 mil, I think, and I'm only level 73, so I'll probably get like 6 mil or something in energies once I get 80 div. So it's not too bad if you are looking for an easy way to get cash. I mean, div is really, there's no way you're gonna not be able to do divination, because it's like free and easy, and you just go there and do it, and you get the energies and you sell them. So that's probably one of the ways as well. Other than that, none of my other skills that I've gotten up have really profited me, as far as I can tell by looking at it. Yeah, so just the stuff that I listed. So yeah, thanks for that comment. And then the one comment that I got that I could not actually reply to, or I can't yet at least, I will reply if it allows me to, was who was it from? Hold on, I gotta scooch this over here. Daniel Johansson commented, "Why no OSRS?" And I have gotten this comment kind of a lot in the past. And just give me 1 sec. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. All right. So I have gotten this comment a lot in the past, and I wanted to address it in a video fully and just get it off my chest and leave the video up. And just, if anyone ever comments again asking, I'm just going to say, watch this video, and you'll learn why I don't really play old school that much, because I do get the comment a lot, and I want to have a video that I can point to say go there to check it out, instead of typing out the whole long reply that I usually end up doing for these comments. So if you hear the bell or the noise, that is my cat being crazy, so sorry about that. But yeah, anyways, so as far as old school goes, I do have an old school account. With this account, this is my main account on old school as well. In fact, hold on 1 sec. Alright, so this took way longer to load up than I was hoping. The freaking OS Buddy was really being slow as hell. But yeah, this is my old school account here. I do have one here on old school. I'm gonna close this actually because it's lagging. And you can see my Steam. Oh my god, revealed. Grim Dawn, great game, highly recommend it. But yeah, this is my old school account. I do have one, and I have some decent progress on it. I mean, my main thing I do on here is I have 87 rune crafting, which is decent. I haven't done any of the Zaya rune crafting, so all pure profit mode rune crafting, mostly astrals from 82. But my stats aren't that great. I mean, I have really low like construction and hunter and like all the shitty skills, fletching and stuff. And my, I'm sort of like a mid-level, basically average mid-level account with just like 75 attack, 70 defense, 80 strength, 75 range and mage. Don't quite have the 70 prayer, but yeah, my total level is nothing to speak of really. Not very good total XP. I do have most of the quests done that are important. RFD basically is the big one in this game that you have to complete. Everything else is not really that important. But the reason I don't really play on this game as much is because, actually I could, well no, I'll just leave it. The reason I don't really play on old school is, what the fuck? Oh, what am I doing? I'm really fucking stuff up. What is this? Oh, is that a new prayer? I've never seen that. But yeah, I am getting distracted here. But the reason I don't play on this as much is because the main thing I really like a lot about RS3 is the PvM. I'm a PvM player. I always have been, really. Well, not always, actually. I did PK a lot back when free trade was out, and I did DHPK. I used to PK a lot back then, which was really, really fun. I miss those days, actually. But since then, and since the EOC, mainly since the EOC is what I'm talking about, which is it's been a few years now, I have been a PvM player, focusing on mainly doing PvM and a little bit of skilling. Mostly PvM, though, is my main focus in the game, and I really want to get to the high level of PvM on my main account because I feel like it would be really, really fun. And I also want to use my main account as a practicing point for my Iron Man, because obviously it is hardcore Iron Man. I really don't want to die, and I really would rather practice doing Araxor on there first before going to do it on my Iron Man. So that is my main reasoning for that. And I just like the PvM on RS3 so much more than the PvM on old school. I really actually don't like the PvM on old school at all. The only good boss, in my opinion, on old school is Zora, the well-designed, only one that's well-designed and actually has decent mechanics and is, you have to learn it and stuff. I can't really speak on the new raids because I don't know too much about them. They look pretty well-designed, but I don't really know. They look like you get really shit rewards unless you get a a unique item, so that kind of is kind of stupid. Like if I spent 3 hours and I got 10 herbs and 50 planks, I would probably not want to do that anymore. So I don't know. The raids don't look that great in terms of rewards, but maybe it balances out because you have a chance of getting a really, really expensive unique item. Who knows? Don't really have much to say on those, but I'm not a big fan of large team PvM, as I said a few minutes ago, so that is not something that really interests me. And the fact is, like with old school, I mean, I know it's going to sound like a lazy complaint and stuff, but I don't really like the fact that when you go to God Wars on old school, you sort of get like 5 kills at most if you're like maxed with max gear, and then you have to leave. And by max gear, I don't mean like if you have an Ellie, I think you can get more kills or something, unless you do some completely stupid ass like crazy prayer flick method where you like do this for the whole entire fight and you just go insane. And I'm not interested in doing that at all, because while you might say that that is what takes the skill in old school, I mean it's a little ridiculous to really consider that as like a standard for getting a good trip at God Wars. So yeah, I really don't like that. There's like I actually think summoning was a really nice update on on our RuneScape, because the familiars are really nice, and just in general, it's what is that? Oh, just in general, it is. I think it's improved the PvM experience on the game a lot, especially for stuff like God Wars, where you do want to extend your trips for as long as you can, because you don't want to have to go bank and get the kill count again and all of that jazz. So I really think that stuff like summoning has really brought a lot of life into the PvM sort of aspect of God Wars and stuff. So that is that. And also I think other bosses, like certain bosses like Venenatus, I think is one of the stupidest bosses. I've done some of it with my friend Alex. I don't know, is there Ring of Wealth right here? Let's see. The fuck features? Here we go. What the hell? What the fuck? Okay, 54 Venenatus, and he probably got about the other half, so we probably did like over 100 of those. And the fact that you can be at a boss and just get one hit without you having any influence over the fact that it happens or any way to avoid it or anything is the stupidest thing ever to me. It is like literally the dumbest design decision I've ever seen for a boss in any game. Like you... Oh, also, I'm sorry about the resolution on this. It is going to be bad, but I switched from old school to RS3, so. But it is just the stupidest design decision ever. Like, it's such lazy difficulty inclusion. Like, it's like, how can we make this boss a difficult boss? Well, let's just have it be able to completely one-hit you and have you die without you being able to affect your chances of death or the outcome of it in any way. Unless, I mean, you could say, well, you could just brew up over 99 HP always and never die. But that is absurd to do. Again, a waste of money as well. And I absolutely hate the boss. And I think the other, like Callisto is also similar. I'm not 100% sure though. But that just made me so sour towards old school PvM, and I really think that the only good PvM on the game is Zulrah, which I've tried to do, but my stats aren't the greatest. I've killed it. I think I'm not trying to rub. Whoops. I have killed one of it. One, yeah. So I have killed it before, but it wasn't great. And I used like a lot of food and stuff, and I died maybe once or twice when I was trying for the first time, which it can be expected, you know. It's kind of tough boss to learn, but yeah, I just really hate that aspect of the PvM. And since I'm a PvM player, I really highly prefer the PvM on RS3, because in my opinion, the PvM on RS3 is way, way better, and there's far more PvM content to do on RS3, so it's definitely more fun, I feel, on RS3 to do PvM. Therefore, that is why I enjoy it more on RS3, and I also enjoy Slayer much more on RS3, which I'm also a very big fan of. Training Slayer on my RS3 accounts is way more fun. I really don't like Slayer on old school and how it's all about cannoning and getting efficient XP and stuff. I mean, you don't have to cannon, but I feel like so many people do it, and it's just like, it's basically the standard at this point. I really am just not a fan. But, yeah. That's basically my rant about old school PvM. So, yeah, I guess that's about all I have to say about the subject. Other than that, I do enjoy the skilling on here. I am, of course, 87 rune crafting. That is one of my favorite skills of the old style of the game. And I kind of have a shitload of rune crafting supplies. I have the 1 mil cash in my bank, and then every other tab is just like got jack shit all in it, pretty much. Nothing really to talk about in any of these tabs. What the hell is this? Oh yeah. Wow, look at that. What a tab. This was when I was trying to do Zora right here. That was a blast and a half. So as you can see, like basically nothing else in my whole bank. I mean, I have Torags, whatever. But then you go to this tab and it's just like, oh. Because I've got like all this shit for rune crafting that I might use at some point. I don't know. I always have it here if I feel like getting on and skilling on here, which I really don't at the moment. But anyway, I've rambled on for far too long. This video was not supposed to be this long, but you know, I kind of like the style I'm going with here. I think a lot of people do enjoy just having something to listen to in the background while they play the game. I know that's how I like to play. I like to listen to videos rather than really watch them in the background of playing the game. So yeah, hope this guys gave you a little bit of entertainment while you're doing your skilling or whatever. Let me know what you think about the old school PvM in the comments section. I know a lot of people kind of like it, but honestly, I'm just not that big a fan of stuff like Venenatis. I think the Zora is a good boss, and maybe Cerberus as well. I haven't done any of that, or the other one, the Sire thing. But regardless, I highly prefer the PvM on RS3, and I feel like there's a lot more. I don't want to say skill, but like knowledge involved. Knowledge, dude. Knowing like your defensive ability rotations and how all your defensive abilities coincide and work together, and how to use them to mitigate damage and make you a lot more survivable at a lot of bosses like Nex, Calfight King, Rise of the Six, as well, and Virago, and also of course raids. I would love to get into doing raids on RS3, but it looks really hard. And you need really high level gear, and you need a big team, which I hate, but I would love to do them because being like the base tank at Yakamaru or something looks like it would be so fun if I could actually learn how to do it. But regardless, that is long in the future and not even anywhere near that point on my main account at the moment. So gonna get back on there, continue doing my QBD, and then maybe go do a Bandos trip later on. But yeah, thanks you guys for your comments. I appreciate them. I love them. I love reading them, love responding. And I might do some more videos like these in the future if you can leave some good comments that I can make some videos about. So do that, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.